Hello, everybody. Buddy Webb, Midland, Texas. I'm gonna do a little short video tonight. That I'm gonna call it my 1008th video, and this video is gonna be about my YouTube channel. I think you're gonna find it interesting. It's gonna be kind of like a trip down memory lane. I recently hit 1,000. That's kind of a big number, and I just wanted to show you, some things that I see, and then just we'll talk about some of the, these videos that have been made, since I started this, and I think it's gonna be really interesting. We're looking right now at the main screen. Of course, my YouTube channel name is Buddy Webb right there, one word. And then when I load up this main screen, it just shows the most recent videos, and I had a couple of them that went viral. I mean, just within the last week. My very latest one, People in the Attic, Hobbs Part 2. It's only 2 days old and it's already had 1,000 views. And so that's a super video here. And then that one followed People in the Attic, Hobbs in Mexico, and that one had 1.8 or 1,000 views, and so that was a lot. And then of course you can see the other ones I made. Rosie Rodriguez 3 days ago. What was the motive for murder? 4 days ago. Irrefutable facts 4 days ago also. And then this one, calling for Lieutenant Dickey to tell the truth. I've talked about it before. He was documented on the police report being inside my home at 11:05, but he wasn't seen arriving on the security cameras that saw Woodward and Naylor, and that's what proved that he came in from under my home, and it was somebody under my home that had shot me. And so I know his mom and from the estate sales, and I was telling him publicly, asking him, everybody knows that you come in from under my home. I mean, everybody knows this. I'm asking you to make this right and to tell the truth about what happened. Y'all police officers came in from under my home. You lied. Somebody shot me from under my home. That's what happened. Okay. And so anyways, Here's some of the things I want to show you. If I go to the library right here, it tells me how many movies that I've uploaded. So this is the 1008th, and that'll be the name of this video, the 1008th video, and then it's showing a history there. and then if I go to the About button here, and it shows me that I joined YouTube August 10th, 2012. Now keep in mind, I was ambushed and shot in January of 2012. So it was later that year when I first joined in with YouTube, and I've had almost 1 million views. If you counted the ones on Facebook, because I've also uploaded videos to Facebook, then I would say it's probably about 3 million views. So it's a lot of views there. And on the playlist tab, which I don't do a lot with it. I have some, but some people might, especially if they're researching this, they'll find this interesting. There's a playlist called Attic Investigations, and that's where I did a study on specific homes where the owners reported somebody in the attic. I think it's an important, them are an important set of videos. Haley Dunn, I've made probably 27, 28 Haley Dunn videos, and, it's who, where, when, how, what. There should have been arrests a long time ago in that Haley Dunn murder, who has a connection back to my home. Actually, I now suspect that her mom and or Haley was here in the underground homes at the 2010 oil show parties, the one where the young girl was murdered at. And the reason that I suspect that, because I found out her mom was a stripper, and it just makes sense that all the strippers were working the oil show parties. And then I was told that she was taking Haley to the strip clubs with her, so it just makes sense that she took Haley to the oil show parties. So that would put Billy Dunn and Haley Dunn in my backyard 2 months before she was kidnapped over there in Colorado City and taken to Odessa and then pimped out and then murdered. And so and I got a feeling the wealthy oilfield people that were at those parties, they don't want anybody to find out that that this famous missing murdered child was at the sex party with them. And so that's why this cover-up's going on, when there's all this evidence with all these people documented saying who, where, when, what, and how Haley died, And so anyways, a whole bunch of stuff Haley done. Tunnels and Attics, that's an older one. It's interesting, some stuff. Scammer phone calls, I hadn't messed with that forever, but that was I was thinking about getting rid of my regular phone because that's all I ever get on it anymore. I don't even get a regular call on my normal phone, and then even my cell phone, it's about half the calls are the spam calls. Now, Secret Police is a good one. This was one of my first interviews, I guess, and it was a radio interview, and it's broken into 3 parts, but it's older, so there's a whole bunch of information that's come out since that's happened that's not in them videos. First set of videos I made, Midland, Texas, tunnels and crimes, right here, and this one right here was just huge, okay? And you could see it over here, part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, part 5. These are core right here. I mean, I made these in 2012, and then I took clips of them, and some of my very top most watched videos, we're going to look at it in a minute, come from this set of videos. I mean, they were just little clips. These are about hour-long videos, and I was making them, and back then, in 2012, I'd make a video and upload it and go to bed. I mean, it takes 6-8 hours, uploading, trying to get the thing uploaded to YouTube, and but they're older, of course, because how are they now? 6-7 years old, and still real good information, especially that Midland, Texas tunnels and crime part 1, because that tells how did I start figuring out somebody was breaking in my house. I mean, I even today I tell people, oh, you need to go watch that video, Midland, Texas tunnel and crime part 1, because it talks about how I first started realizing that somebody was in my attic. Okay, and I have one for family, and then police scanner videos. I recently just shared the link to the playlist for this yesterday, and I saw where people were looking at these older police scanner calls. One, Odessa no longer lets you listen to their scanner, and I think a lot of the reason is because I had recorded them and posted them, and some of these were just flat out embarrassing, and I like the chief of police here in Midland, and that one, what I don't know won't hurt me. That was the chief of police. Here's a MISD teacher student allegation, and I think that was Rosie Rodriguez, and they were trying to what were they doing? Oh, they were going to invite a parent up to the school for a meeting, and when they got there, they were going to secretly arrest them for trespassing. That's what it was. And and there's a whole bunch of them. They're breaking in houses, and sharing passwords and just all kinds of stuff. You can see them here. And it is interesting stuff, but it's all older. But the other thing it's a lot of the people in the attic, and that's the thing. And that was the other thing. I think that was a big part of the reason that they encrypted their radio channels, because they're hiding them crimes from the public. The press is hiding it. The police is hiding it, and that's like when I was shot with burglar alarms on the attic, and they're calling me crazy. I didn't know there was all these other homeowners it was happening to, because they're hiding it from us, And so when I started recording them and, going, wow, look here's all these other homeowners recording people in the attic. Oh, let's encrypt that for officer safety. That'd be for officer safety. Right. Yeah. Right. They already had private channels for officer safety. Had nothing to do with officer safety. They're hiding it from the taxpayers that pay their paychecks. Anyways, that's the playlist. Okay. Let's go look at videos. Okay. And if you just click here, you're going to see the whole list of the most recent videos. Like I said, we looked at them. There's 1,000 of them. So it's easy to get lost in these videos. And there's a whole bunch of neat stories. Amazing. I mean, they are. It's just full of it. And so it's real, there ain't no way you could sit here and go, when anybody says, I've watched all your videos, I'm like, no, I don't think you have, when somebody tells me I watched all your videos, no, I don't think you have. I can do a sort, most popular, okay, and then this tells me the very most watched ones, and I think, just the average person, maybe you didn't know this, like, wow. And the number one video has 80,000 views, and I just call it like a non-important video. There was a suspicious car in my alley one night, and this had 80,000 views, and I think the reason it did is because YouTube promoted it, and that's where their algorithm, they can promote or demote, any kind of video. videos, and for whatever reason, this video, I wish they would have promoted other videos besides that one, but it got 80,000 views. Rape and murder, and that's the story. The young girl was murdered at the oil show party. 41,000 views from 5 years ago, and that's a clip from one of them Midland, Texas tunnels and crime. I can't remember if it was part 3 or part 4, but it's just a clip out of one of them. And that's what I'm saying, that I've taken clips and then published them, and then they had 42,000, and that was just on YouTube. That video had 20,000 over on Facebook or more. I don't even know how many. I mean, I've had some on Facebook do over 100,000. Okay. Midland, Texas secret police, and this was back, okay, let's look at the date on 4 years ago. They were still secret back then, okay? Remember, they were secret for 6 years. Got caught on camera in 2012, didn't get identified until 2018, but they became world famous. We're talking about 26,000 people all over the world. First known secret police since Nazi Germany. Okay, this one here, another high view, 25,000 views. Is this a sex trafficking tunnel? And what I'm showing, this is on the Home Depot side of the wall, and also I show the other side in the alley on my side of the wall, and we look at things where it looks, you can tell where where a tunnel was coming in through there, and I think it was being used for sex trafficking. These trucks were lining up behind Home Depot, I mean 24/7 coming and going, and they're not unloading freight. At the same time, I got people in my attic coming and going, and the people, it was real obvious, the people in the attic were going over meeting the truckers coming back. It was like a truck stop, sex trafficking business, Here, Sheriff Painter's hideout, and you can see that was only 1 year ago, and it's 24,000. Sheriff Painter was the longest serving sheriff in the state of Texas. He was famous, right? And then he dies, and then we had an election for sheriff, and I'm talking to a candidate, and I'm telling him about the underground homes here, and Joe Lozano says, yeah, that was old Painter's hideout, so that's the name of that video, Painter's hideout. Of course, it went viral, here's Painter, the hero, the big Texas hero, and he was hiding out in these underground homes that's believed to be connected with the forced prostitution, etc. Okay. Haley Dunn murder confession, and that one had 18,000 views. And remember, I've got probably 20, almost 30 videos for Haley Dunn, and some of them a lot newer. That was 5 years ago, and so it's still a good video, but I have a lot more with a lot more evidence now. I usually if I suggest somebody watch a Haley Dunn, it's usually Haley Dunn timeline is the one that I suggest that they watch. Possible terrorist smuggling tunnel that's a lot like this one here. It's where the wall that's behind my house, and 17,000 views 6 years ago. Finding the tunnel, I think that's a good one here. 17,000 views, and basically I'm saying, I don't know how many people say, you need to dig, and it's like, you really don't need to dig. We know people's getting in the attic. They're not coming in from a door. The only other way they're coming in is from a wall. I mean, that's all there is to it. And a normal wall doesn't have enough space. So you find the wall that has space, you find out where they're coming in from. So you find the wall, you find the tunnel, right? But you also find armed and dangerous criminals backed up by a secret police gang, right? And they're going to kill you, tamper with evidence, lie, and cover up your murder, and the press is going to help them. And then they're going to get the next homeowner and do it again, And so until we find real police, then that's not the answer. We need real police to do that. But basically that's what that video talks about. This video, it gets views all the time. Secret tunnels, Midland, Texas, and I just drove around town and I told stories, and it's one of them. I don't think it's that great a video, but it had the right name. I don't know. Sometimes it's about the name. 17,000. Burglars in my attic. I actually went up in the attic and I showed some of the evidence that I found. I think that's interesting. That one's 16,000 views 5 years ago. Here's one of them core videos, Midland, Texas Tunnels Crime Part 2. Okay, here's Part 1 up there I was telling you about a while ago. That's an important one. Tells you about how to figure out how people are breaking in your home. Vivint attic alarms, 11,000. That one's cool. I mean, I put in a Vivint alarm system in my attic to prove this was going on. It dispatched the police to my house, and then the police come over and refused to look and called me crazy on the police report. Then I got letters from the city threatening to fine me if the police got dispatched by Vivint again. Okay, and in this video, I'm talking to the Vivint because they're going, yeah, we got an alarm in your attic, and I'm going, yeah, it's an alarm, but don't call the police because it won't do anything. You know, so that's what that one is. Human trafficking tunnel. If I remember on the date, it says 11,004 years ago, and I made that right around the time my dad died, and it's talking about human trafficking tunnel. Pence and pedophile parties, and that one's only 1 year old, had 10,000. I think this is a super. I've long felt like Vice President Pence had a connection to the obstruction of justice, to the crimes here. And what this video was showing was I'd recorded a woman telling me that a person connected with the underground homes was a wealthy guy from Artesia, or from a town in Mexico that starts with an A near Hobbs, Artesia, New Mexico. Okay, so I did a Facebook post one day that said Artesia suspects, and I put that little clip in the video, and I talked all about that. The richest man in New Mexico lives in Artesia. He had an oil company. He sold his oil company to Concho here in Midland for $1 billion. Okay, and so here the Artesia suspects, and then 4 hours later, I see a news article where Vice President Pence is flying to the tiny town of Artesia, New Mexico. And I thought, what a coinky dinky, ain't it? You know, and here I've been contacting, you know, anybody and everybody trying to get these crimes stopped, you know. And, but anyways, that's really what that, and I wasn't saying Pence was at the pedophile parties, but I was told on that same recorded phone call that them underground homes pedophile parties were going on, you know. And so I think that's part of, when you try to cover that up, you're trying to cover up pedophile parties, okay? This was with a shooter, if you remember, in El Paso. Proof of fake news about El Paso shooter, 9.8 thousand. More suspicious alley stuff one night 4 years ago. Ector County Patrol's Midland Walmart. That was back when they shut down the Walmarts, you know, the 5 Walmarts in you know, across the nation. And you know, that was just some weird stuff that was going on. One of the 5 shutdown Walmarts was about a half mile from my house. And there was a landman that contacted me. I have a video on it. He said he was doing, you know, looking for minerals over there. He was told not to. He says, I found something underground. Then he gets arrested and framed, and there's a whole story about that. You know, I recently did a video about that. Midland, Texas tunnels and crime part 4. Remember, that's a core set of videos. This one I share all the time. This is the one where the woman told me that there was 4 3-bedroom underground homes, buried at least 25 foot deep, each costing over $1 million a piece, and they're having the pedophile or pizza parties down there. That one, you know, hollow tunnels in the floor. That might have been loose tiles, I don't know. This one right here, part 3, that's one of the core videos. This one where I talked about Haley Dunn, and this video started all the Haley Dunn stuff, because that was the first one where I mentioned Haley Dunn in that video. And then all of a sudden, Christy Otts, the drug rehab counselor, contacts me and says, "Yeah, I got Haley's confession from a guy, you know, named Brett Bushman," and you know, and then it went on where he said they bent her and broke her and put her in a box and buried her in a ranch outside of Odessa. All kinds of information. Sent me this email she had sent to her supervisors where he had confessed to being involved in 3 different homicides. I've shown that in these videos. And so, caught digging in my backyard. My dog alerts me to something out there. I go out there and you can literally hear noise coming from under the ground. I get it on my phone in this video right here. And that was 5 years ago, okay? Remember when that Pizzagate was a big deal in Washington? So I did I could see the similarities, underground, Pizzagate, so I did that video. And Midland, Texas tunnels, crime part 5. Burglar alarms go off in the attic here. That's got 4.9 thousand. I'm taking a bath. I'm making a video of my foot to show everybody of the damage. And burglar alarms go off in the attic. They've gone off here hundreds and hundreds of times in all kinds of scenarios, all kinds of proof. This one's just come off the internet, hidden basement, mob house in Vegas. More evidence here. Burglar alarms in the attic. And I mean, if we did a search for burglars in the attic or burglars, then it's just going to be a ton of them. So I just want to show you them were the top videos there. Okay. Playlist videos. What else I want to show you? Oh, yeah. One other thing. We can go manage videos. Okay. And I'm almost done here. And I do this often because this will show me. I don't, on all the videos when I upload them, I don't let people just comment. I have to approve all comments, and I do that because of the slander and the lies. And there's a group of people out there that I think that they have no other job but try to cover up these crimes and murders here, and so I mean, I finally figured out how to stop it, and I don't allow them. So anybody posts lies, slander, hate, any of that crap, I document it for so later we can put them in prison, and then but I won't let it post, okay, and so I come here. And what it's showing me is the views, okay? And here it's showing me 1,000. This is people in the attic right here. And what I'm looking always here is my ratio here. How many likes? And that gives me an idea how much, how many people like them. That has 15 likes, 13 likes, 8 likes, 6 likes. Okay, of course, y'all can't see the videos here, but this was Irrefutable Facts, only has 6 likes. I love that video, but, it only got 6 likes, Here, like I said, this one, the new viral video, had 15 likes. Of course, it's had 1,000 views, And here's the other big one, 1,800, almost 1,900. It's only had 14 likes, So I can go through there. But if you look at them, it's also 80%, 90, 100, always high percentages, and, good percentages there. Then if I go over here to comments, then I go held for review, okay, and you'll see right now I have no new comments to approve because the latest is 3 weeks ago, and everything below this I won't approve. Nothing. I mean, I've already looked at all these, and some crazier, nutter, squirrel, all this, and most of all these I have print screens on, and I went and took print screens of the channel, and that way I can literally come back later and maybe use this to put people in prison because that's tampering with the witness. I'm the victim of a capital attempted murder, and I believe a lot of these people, that they're not just stupid, they actually know. They're intentionally, on purpose, smearing my name to cover up capital murders and capital crimes, Okay, and then analytics is the next button I go to often, and I think it's interesting. I post this often on my Facebook. I'll take a print screen and sometimes the link, and it shows the top videos in the last 28 days, And I think that's interesting because who's watching what, And sometimes it's surprising because it's older videos. So the number one video, People in Attic Hobbs 2, okay? Midland Home Depot, that's my third most watched. This is the last 28 days. Walmart closings, they're all more recently. Caitlin Dennison, that's pretty recent. But this one, okay, that's a 27 video, and it's in the top 10. The reason it is, it's one of them shorts, one of them 2-minute videos that's on my front page. And I wish I could figure out how to make more of them shorts because I think people just click on it because it's there. But basically, a burglar alarm goes out in the middle of the night, wakes me up, But I probably have 100 of them burglar alarm videos or more, And another, this is a recent one, and another People in the Attic story, because there's 50 other homeowners reported people in the attic, and I'm still getting them. We talked about Dickie, right, here a minute ago. The stories put together, that's a Haley Dunn one, that's where it leads into. And then this one actually was a murder over in Odessa, one of my Facebook friend's son, and it's just an incredible story. And nobody's been arrested, a young kid, and 19 years old, 30 shots, I mean, they shot his tires out. They kept shooting him. And, his family moved to get away from these criminals, and they wouldn't stop until they murdered her son, her 19-year-old son, I mean, I hope to do more. I hope to see they get justice. I go here often too, okay, latest videos, and I go video analytics, okay. And what this does, that's not the one. I hit the wrong button. I want to go up here to see more. Okay, this one. Okay, and the reason I like this one because this is live for the last 48 hours. And so here's the last 48 hours, and it can tell me in the last 48 hours, 556 people watch People in the Attic Part 2, 146 people watch Part 1, and then I just think it's interesting because I'm watching what other people are watching, okay? Secret Police, Rosie Rodriguez, and that's one of my more recent, okay, 28 here, and then we get into these scanner calls because remember I posted that playlist, and when I did, then all of a sudden I got a lot of playlists. A lot of people are looking at them old scanner calls up there, And so anyway, it's just interesting. But then also the last 60 minutes. I know what people's watching in the last hour, you know. So you got 3 people watching People in the Attic, Hobbs, New Mexico 2, Hobbs, New Mexico 2, Midland Crimes Part 1. Remember talking about that, how important that one was? Caller in the Attic. This one lately has been hot for whatever reason, you know. And I think sometimes maybe some user shares it to their Facebook page or whatever, and then all their friends watch it, and then I'll get a view count jump or whatever on some old video, you know, because that one's like a 2015 video, and then all of a sudden it's got 32 views in the last 48 hours. I'm like, how can this video from 6 years ago get 32 views? And what it is somebody went and shared it to their page, and all their friends watched it, you know, and they're going, wow, check this out, you know. But that was only like one example of people in the attic, you know. Here, I'll show you another thing we can do. And then we're about done. I want to go back to the main page. There's a search button right here, okay? And so we could do the search button, and we'll just search for burglary. Okay. And I'll just show you here. There's going to be pages of these, okay? I mean, pages of them. I've never even counted how many pages of them are. A lot of them are dated on when they are, and different systems, and burglar alarm go off, burglar alarm go off, burglar alarm going off. I mean, while I'm sitting there in the bathtub, and just every kind of scenario, people in my house, burglar alarms go off, you know. And I had different systems, the Vivint system, you know, the motion detectors, you know. And there's the video where I proved that they were hacking the cameras, you know. That one's on here too. And so, anyways, I thought y'all might find that interesting, because, you know, it's a whole bunch of videos, and hopefully we're getting real close. I'm hoping that maybe these last videos there, and, you know, it's starting to open their eyes that to the public that these crimes are going on more than just my home, you know, that it's going on all over the place, and especially even them Hobbs home. You know, there's another town. I'm going, that's, you know, it's a lot of other towns. These crimes are going on all over the place. This Buddy Webb, Midland, Texas.